And welcome to today's Resilience Reset. I am about to go and speak for the CanSPEP conference, so I cannot be live with you today, but I have for you a short video that is actually my first and only video so far to have over 2,000 views on YouTube. And it's all about how do you lead somebody out of the victim mentality. Really short, so some high level tips, but I think they can be really helpful. And I just, I have this commitment to do Monday to Thursday, every day, 3:15, for whether it's 15 minutes or a half an hour. And I didn't want to not follow through on that because there are a few times when I'm already speaking and I can't be in two places at once. So put this together for you. Hope you love it. I will definitely see you in the comments afterwards and share it if it's a value to somebody who you know who may be caught in the victim trap. We all have been there and we all know somebody, I think, who's been there. So hope you're having an absolutely incredible day. I will see you on Monday. And until then, may you stress less, do more, and be happier. Hi, it's Allison Graham here, and in this video we're going to talk about what do you do when somebody is in victim mode, meaning everything is everybody else's fault, they're blaming, they're not taking action or responsibility for their life. And so that could be somebody on your team, or it could just be somebody in your life, maybe a family member, etc. So this is one of the topics that I cover in depth in my Leading a Resilient Culture keynote and workshop. And I just want to give you some really quick ideas. The challenge is they can be a really strong vacuum into negativity for a team or for even a party, right? It just, they have the power to suck the life, right? Enthusiasm right out of anybody around them if we allow it to happen. So what do you do about it? First thing to do is to validate. However, you don't want to enable. So validate, not enable. Here's what I mean by that. One of the reasons that people feel unsupported when they're going through tough times is because we as humans, we try to make things better by saying things like, oh, don't take it personally. Oh, just let it go. Or all these really well-intentioned one-liners, when in actual fact, people who are upset, they need to have their feelings validated. And if they can't do that for themselves, which often a victim can't, then they need that from an external source. And so you can be that source to say, absolutely, that would, that makes sense that you're feeling angry or fearful or whatever. The key is, though, don't pile on. So don't add to the conversation. Don't be like, oh, I totally get why you're angry about that. And could you imagine, they actually did this and this and this and this too? And adding on to the story. That actually will make it harder. So first, validate, don't enable. So the second step is to plug the rabbit hole. So going along the lines of not enabling the victim behavior is you want to try to put the conversation in a direction that will shift the thinking. So asking questions is a great way to do this. So I understand that you're feeling really fearful about that, or you're really upset about that. Curious, what is the worst case scenario if that happens? That's one way. So then they can play out the worst case scenario. That's a fairly typical technique. Or you might say, yeah, I totally get it. Makes sense. So moving forward, what are you going to do? What are the possibilities for you? And getting them thinking proactively, because the biggest challenge with a victim is that they stay stuck and they're not looking for anything that's empowering them. And so then, another question might be, well, what about this situation is within your control and out of your control? And, that question is really great for figuring out our tactics. It's not meant to, it's not meant to nullify their feelings, which is a whole other topic. And I'll do that in another video. And actually, I'm sure there's tons of videos that I've already done that on, because people need to feel the feels. And there's a big difference between complaining and getting stuck in that victim rut and venting. Venting, when somebody is really upset about something, then as they continue, you'll feel the energy change. You'll feel that there's a sense of, they're almost talking themselves out of their own feelings, right? And it's very, very helpful. And it's a really important part of many people processing to have a safe place to vent. That's great. And, venting, awesome. Complaining and getting stuck in the complaining victim rut is that every time you talk with them, the exact same
complaint is happening. There's no progression in the story. There's no progression in the emotion attached to the problem. If they're stuck in that victim complaining trap, then you've got to use some of these techniques that I've talked about to shift the conversation to get them pulled out of it. The truth is, only a person can bring themselves out of victim mode. So it's really up to you to just, as a leader or as somebody who cares about their friend, that you can only offer support, and when it gets to be too much, offer a way to hopefully get them seeing and thinking a little bit differently. Hope that helps you today. I'm Allison Graham, and my website is allisongraham.co. My work is all about helping you do all that you do without the stress and the guilt and the risk of burnout. And by all means, if you have a team who needs to hear some of my work, then let's talk. And I look forward to